G'day there guys, Marky here, and welcome back to another episode of r/relationship advice. I do hope you enjoyed today's episode. Now sit back, relax, chuck a prawn to the barbie, and let's get right into it. Posted by user ThrowRA Alerting, titled, My female 21, fiancés, male 22, parents are making his sister rescind her coming out during church service. The reason I'm making this is because my fiancé and I need help with a situation on the 3rd of the 9th that recently came to our attention. My fiancé's parents are extremely religious, but they've been worse to his sister, 15, than him. When he was growing up, they didn't force him to attend like her, and he admits that he was a golden child. He would miss church/youth because of sports, and their relationship was fine when he moved out because they weren't as strict on him. He was allowed to work and have secular friends, and they didn't make him do purity like she did. But we were recently made aware of something that will make us rescind their invitation before cutting them out of our lives. But we want to ask for advice before doing that. His dad made a Facebook rant about how he discovered his sister being gay due to parental controls showing search history, and he also ranted about the importance of them as such. He also said that he spoke to someone at church and that she probably will too. However, on the 3rd of the 9th, she's going to be prayed over during service, and we're worried about her, how it seems she's being made to apologize, and we want to ask if there is anything that we can do. The church is fairly big with over 1,000 attendees. We're going to uninvite anyone who attends that Sunday in agreement with her parents, but the wedding isn't our priority right now. Is there anything that we can do to help her out of this situation while we still have a connection with her parents? We'd especially appreciate to hear from anyone who might have been in similar situations with unacceptable parents. Edit, we live in New York, and the church where his sister is being forced to receive prayer at/apologize is on Long Island, New York. We are trying to see if we can see her sometime next week before the 3rd of the 9th, as school is out, and we're on good terms with her parents as of now. We live in New York too, but a few hours away from them. We went to talk to her in person due to the parental controls on her device that started this whole mess when her father outed her on Facebook, and we've taken her shopping in the past without her parents, so that's the angle we're thinking of if we can see her. We are debating what to do if we see her and she says she doesn't want to be present on that Sunday, and if that would be enough to have her stay with us through Sunday without legal issues. And we know that that would burn a bridge with her parents too. Her safety and mental health is more important, but we are considering if doing that would hurt our chances of potentially taking her in before she turns 18 if it comes down to the courts. In the comments, Geophagus asks, how old is she? Can you get her out of that house and in with you? OP says, she's 15 and we have an apartment in the same state, but a few hours away. As of now, we're on good terms with her parents, and we'd more than let her stay once she's older, but we're not sure if we can arrange anything to get her out of that service next Sunday by staying with us in time. We're trying to see if we can see her before that Sunday, though. I don't see any reason why you can't let her stay at your place until Grandpa has had a chance to cool off. This is not kidnapping in the US. The long term is really less important in some ways. This week, she needs to not be around him. Your spouse can go to the church that day in her place. She has the legal right to emancipate herself, but it sounds to me like Dad needs time. 10 years from now, he'll be beaming and bragging about the grandbabies she and her wife have on the way. If Grandpa's going to do something rash like disown her, etc., then this would save a lot of time, and she could skip all of the trauma that he's got planned for her. Prospero 1982 says, this is heartbreaking to read. Your future sister-in-law is lucky to have you both. The only things that come to mind are whether she's able to emancipate herself from her parents, she'd need to talk to a lawyer, and whether she's able to just move in with you, if her parents wouldn't fight that and make your life hell. Best of luck in this awful scenario. Update. My fiancé was able to call his dad shortly after my first post, and he asked if we'd be able to come up and see them this week. He didn't get into a confrontation on the phone because we figured that would hurt our chances of seeing her or risk being cut off for disagreeing, thus why we haven't rescinded their wedding invitations or anything hasty. He asked if we could come to attend the church with them on Sunday in light of the post, and he said we could come on Saturday and spend the night along with doing something on Saturday afternoon. So as of right now, we plan to drive up on Saturday morning. We live a few hours away, and we talked to one of our friends for advice that we're close with about what to do once we're there. But we're hoping to find some more advice because we're debating some ideas for Saturday, and we're open to any suggestions we get. The reason we asked if we could go to church with them was because of an idea I had, but I want to ask about it here. My fiancé asked if we could take her shopping when we go, and we've taken her shopping in the past without her parents. If she states that she doesn't feel comfortable with what her parents are making her do at church, would that be enough to drive her somewhere else like a hotel or back to our place to avoid it if she wants? Or would that interfere with any chances of being able to legally take her in before she's 18? Some people commented that she should be old enough to not go to church or anywhere if she doesn't want to, but would her parents have grounds to accuse us of kidnapping and take her back? That's where we're at so far, and we're considering a lawyer too, and have looked up some this week that we're considering reaching out to. I'm also going to share this on a legal subreddit, but we're open to any advice we can get, and especially from anyone who's been through something similar. In the comments, Kitsune says, "Malicious compliance. Hello everyone at church. I'm here to rescind my coming out. I'm being forced to do this against my will because my dad only loves me conditionally. He loves who he wants and imagines me to be, but not me as I am. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk." Geophagus says, "Depending on the parents, taking the girl shopping instead of church when it's a 15-year-old could be considered kidnapping or something similar." OP replies, "Some people said that too, but some also said that she should be old enough to possibly not want to be there if she doesn't want to be. We're not 100% though, and that's why we're looking into lawyers already this week. We've also shared this in r/legal advice." AP Girl says, "I'm just glad the sister has her brother in her corner. I hope he does everything in his power to get her away from them. If they are willing to humiliate her publicly, I can only imagine how badly she's being treated at home." I think OP and her fiancé are making the right call in not revoking the parents' wedding invitations yet or anything of that nature due to not wanting to lose connection to the sister as she might need them the next few years. The best plan right now is to quietly let the sister know that they will be there to help. However, they cannot raise any flags with the parents while they explore options. In 2023, when we have access to all the knowledge one could ever want in the form of a small handheld device, people still care more about punishment of women in the name of a false deity. Yup, the son can have a dozen sexual partners before he marries, but the daughter must have 0. Hell, I've seen fathers take pride in their sons' conquests. Sickening. Double standards and everything. Do they seriously think these women the son is sleeping with just spring up out of the ground? Do they not feel anything from this cognitive dissonance? And yeah, unfortunately, it has been a week on this one. I'm sure OP will update us in the future if anything does happen with this story, but unfortunately for now, we have hit a dead end, and I can't wait to hear how OP gets his sister out of this situation. I do hope for the best, but it's not sounding very good right now. So hold steady, guys. Our next post is by user No Ride Throwaway, titled, "Am I the asshole for saying I'll be driving myself and paying for my own room on the upcoming family vacation so I won't have to be a babysitter? I, 23 male, was repeatedly stuck playing the part helper and babysitter on family outings. I had to move out of my parents' house because I kept being forced to help watch my 3 nephews. Last year, we took a family vacation in the summer to the coast. I rode along with my parents, and they paid for my hotel room. Only, I had to share that room with 3 rowdy boys because my sister and her husband wanted a room to themselves. I was promised time to do my own things on the vacation, but instead, I ended up having to help with these kids. I complained to everyone about it, and I was reminded that I was there for free, and then we pretty much just did only one thing that I wanted to do, which was tour an art gallery. I like doing this whenever I'm at the coast, but the kids find it boring. This year, my parents have a beach trip planned for June, and they assumed that I'd be riding along the same way as last year, but I refused. I said I'd be driving myself and paying for my own hotel stay to have my own room. My parents were shocked, and they tried to remind me of the cost. I said it was no worry. I've got a good job and a decent running car. I can more than afford it. That's when the buts started. I stated the previously listed things as to why I'll be driving myself and paying for myself. I want to be able to enjoy this vacation as an adult and not be treated like a child like last year. My parents told my sister, and she called to blow up at me that I'll be ruining the vacation if I'm off doing my own thing while she has to wrangle with her 3 boys. I ended up yelling at her that last year all she did was rope me into her mess. I didn't really get to do much of anything that I wanted to do, and I was treated like the bad guy for wanting to just go to an art gallery. I'm a grown man. I deserve my own vacation too. Now my sister is not speaking to me, and my parents are still trying to convince me to just ride with them to keep the peace. I'm still refusing, but the pressure is getting to me. Am I the asshole for not giving in? I know they'll have a pretty hard time when they won't have another person there to help. Edit. It's barely been an hour since I posted, but my sister is apparently a Reddit lurker in the mornings, and she saw my post. Not only is she furious with me, but she's also upset that no one in the comments is siding with her. To make it short, she went on a big rant about how it's so hard to be a parent to triplets, and the least I could do is help because I'm young and single, and she needs a break. I stood my ground on my decision, and now she's calling our parents to get them involved. I'm expecting a call from them any minute. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I think I may be the asshole because without my help, my parents, sister, and brother-in-law will be a man down with wrangling their kids. And my response to that is, screw them 10 ways to Sunday. OP, you're 24 years old now. They already got away with their false promises last year. They showed you who they truly are in situations like this. As the old adage goes, when they show you their true self, believe them. They don't care about you. You are just a free babysitter. Thank God you're not a bangmaid also, but that would be weird in this context. I'm just gonna keep going off at your sister and her goddamn flying monkeys and her goddamn spineless husband for, everyone coming together as the Council of Assholes. You gotta do what the Scarlet Witch did in Doctor Who Multiverse of Madness and kill the Council. It's your only way. I love Marvel. Yay, Marvel references. Anyway, that's my thoughts. What's your thoughts, guys? Oh yeah, not the asshole. Definitely not the asshole. In the comments, Sam Spade PI says, quote, my parents told my sister, and she called to blow up at me, that I'll be ruining the vacation if I'm off doing my own thing while she has to wrangle her 3 boys. That's a laugh. She's admitting that she's ruining your vacation so as not to ruin her own. They're her kids and her responsibility, not the asshole. In fact, you are nicer than I would be. I'd just say, no thanks, I've got other plans, and avoid the family vacation altogether. Yes, how dare you ruin my vacation when I should be ruining yours? What's with the sister? I took care of my kids on vacation and found them things to do on vacation. Maybe sis should pay for a nanny on the vacation. Oh, but wait, why would she do that or even try to parent her own kids when she is trying to bully her brother into slave labor? OP, stay your ground or simply don't go on this so-called vacation. You know, there's a good solution for this. The parents could pay for the nanny with the money they saved from not paying for OP. Oh wait, that's not a lot of money? I guess you really didn't value your brother/son's contributions. Not the asshole. Do not give in. It is time to stand your ground. This internet stranger is proud of you. Holy shit, never in the history of Am I the Asshole has there been such a clear-cut case of golden child and scapegoat, and I've seen some doozies. Quote, I'm a grown man, I deserve my own vacation too. Correct. Honestly, what are you getting out of these family vacations? Just go do your own thing and avoid the hassle and stress and pressure to babysit. Probably a few $1,000s, week plus hotel, free travel plus food, but OP doesn't care about that. He just wants a holiday, which, no shit, everyone needs a holiday. Edit, since many don't understand, I'm arguing for OP, not against. Update. Well, I'm off work now, so I can tell more of what went down. I guess you could say it's over. My sister got our parents involved, they looked at my post, and were absolutely horrified by the continuous influx of commenters. Yes, they are very angry with me that I posted here, but I told them that if they just listened to me to begin with, I'd have never needed to. I'm sick of the whole keep the peace mentality that sacrifices me to placate my sister. They in turn went off on my sister, and to make a long story short, the whole vacation has been cancelled. The hotel wasn't booked yet anyway, but my parents are arguing with my sister is blaming me, and my nephews are crying because they aren't going to the beach. My sister called me at lunch and basically implied I have no life, which is why I have time to help. I recorded that and told our parents, and that's currently what they're fighting about. Small update. I wasn't gonna update again, but here's a little more. Parents said they won't ever push babysitting on my nephews on me again, and have agreed that what happened last year was unfair to me. Right now, they are very angry with my sister for telling me that I should help her because she thinks I have no life. My sister is playing the victim, and my brother-in-law is basically saying nope to the whole mess and spending most of his time at work. Thank you to everyone who has commented. You made my day. Christ, she's nasty with that one, isn't she? That is gnarly, dude. Implying you have no life, which is why you have time to help? That would hurt coming from someone that is supposed to love you, just to strike you down like that. How dare you say something like that? That is so upsetting. You know what? You're a no-life loser anyway, and that's why I'm making you look after my kids, because I don't want to look after them. It's my responsibility, and I know I'm supposed to be doing that as a parent, but screw you because you're a goddamn loser. You're the one that's going to be stuck with them now, buddy. My advice to you, OP, is very low contact, if no contact, with your sister until she learns her lesson, because she's a piece of shit. That's something a piece of shit says, and I feel awful that she's put you through this. And thank God your parents have seen the light here. Thank God your parents are on your side, OP. That's a rare win that I feel like we don't see enough of on Am I the Arsehole? So thank you guys for taking OP's side and being reasonable and rocking the boat. Stop not rocking the boat. The boat needs to be goddamn rocked, and this one needs to be sunk, which it has been, and continues to sink to the bottom of the ocean until it learns its lesson. Let's hope. Our next post is by user ThrowNoReveal1, titled, Am I the arsehole for refusing to tell my husband the gender of our baby after he skipped going to the doctor's appointment with me? So my husband and I are expecting. This is our first baby, and we're excited. The thing is, he barely attends any doctor's appointments with me, and his excuses aren't even valid. He's willing to miss the doctor appointment over soccer or a drink or board games with friends. His response is always, I'm not the one carrying the baby. Why do I have to go and see the doctor with you? Last week was my final straw. He was supposed to come with me for the baby's gender reveal appointment, but he chose not to come last minute because his friend invited him to fish and chips. I was pretty livid, but didn't make a fuss about it. My mum went with me instead. He texted asking me to tell him the results, boy or girl, but I refused to tell him. He kept spam calling me, but I hung up each time. He came home fuming, demanding I tell him the results, but I refused and bluntly told him since he refused to attend the appointments, then he gets no results till after the baby is born, and said I was willing to die on this hill. He went off, calling me spiteful and immature for doing this and punishing him. He said he's the father and he has the right to know. He then called me dramatic since I wasn't alone and my mum was with me. I said he gets no results, period. He's been fuming about it and told his family, and they're now pressuring me not to stop playing mind games with him and tell him, but I declined. Am I the arsehole? I had a lot to say. I'm not gonna say it. I don't want to be blasted by you guys. It's not worth the energy. It's not worth the torment. But, I'm sure someone in the comments is gonna say it. Anyway, this guy is a loser. He is a freak. He is a nonce. I know it's not correct to say that word, but it's a funny word, okay? I'm surprised the relationship has existed this long. Why are you with this man, OP? He's obviously someone that does not care about you. You are not his priority. What are you doing with him still? Just amicably co-parent, if that's at all possible, but he doesn't sound like the type to be able to amicably co-parent. I hate this. Put the garbage in the bin, not the arsehole. And before you come at me being like, all Reddit says is to break up with idiots like this, would you deal with someone like this? Would you accept this behavior in your life? I'm sure this is something that she's tried to address with him, but if this behavior has just happened this long, do you think he's going to change? Do you think he wants to change? It doesn't sound like it to me. Anyway, in the comments, Annie84 says, not the asshole. Already a deadbeat dad before the baby is even born. I would drop a friend if I found out they prioritized fish and chips over their wife and baby's doctor appointment. Lamau? That's what it was for frickin' fish and effing chips? I'd be like, bye, bro. And believe me, I never say bro, but it felt appropriate because he likely is a bro. Nice bisexual Alex exhibit. You keep it up, buddy. You don't say bro, I believe you. OP did say this is her hill to die on. I support that, lol, but I anticipate it will just make someone this immature to begin with's emotional and mental state spiral into further immaturity and coping skills to match. I'd hate to bet on the beginning of the end, though. I don't know them. Good. Let him. Better to be his honest self out in the open right now. It's better to know that he's a deadbeat now than after a decade of miserable marriage. How he handles this really easy stuff right now is an excellent foreshadowing for how he'll be after the baby is born. This is only a bump in the road. She needs to know how his emotional suspension will handle before they get utterly totaled down the line. If he's telling you, I'm not carrying the baby, why do I have to go to the doctor with you? That's going to turn into, I didn't push out that baby, why should I look after it? Real quick. Yup. This is going to be the dad that complains that he has to babysit while his wife goes to the store to buy him food. He's not a dad, he's a sperm donor. Not even a sperm donor, just a deadbeat. As a recipient of donor sperm for my baby, I dislike using that phrase for crap dads. My donor, who I don't know, was a wonderful person who wanted to help strangers have a baby. Fair point. How about negligent breeder? That's a good one, I like that. Not the asshole. My ex pulled this with our second child, and I caved and told him. I shouldn't have. You need to seriously reconsider this relationship. He's showing you that he and his friends are more important than you and the baby. He sees going to appointments with you as punishment, not as a chance to make sure that you and the baby are healthy. Don't be like me and stay until he leaves you for another woman. I wish I could upvote you more for this real advice from a person who lived a similar situation to the OP. Edit/update. Hi, so first of all, wow, I didn't expect this to blow up. Sorry, can't answer any comments because of feeling overwhelmed. I just wanted to mention that my husband just attempted to contact my doctor to get the results. It didn't go well, and we had another argument over it. He couldn't get it since his mum was the one who made the call. And that's it. That's the end of the story. I'm so sorry once again if you're feeling blue-balled over this. I didn't mean to choose stories like this, but this gets me heated. I like this. Anyway, that's where I'm going to end today's episode, guys. As always, I do hope you have a good day, night's sleep, and I'll see you in the next one. And here's one blooper. I said he gets no results, period, sis, and that's on God. Slay.